And we started hearing a weird noise from the engine. Sounded weird.
Sounded funny.
Just heard a big bam, and the engine stopped. I think the timing is off because when the belt was loose, it slipped before it totally stopped. Last year in August, my old Ford engine had come to a final stop, and today I'm going to tackle the removal of this old friend. I've never done a repower on a sailboat before, and for me it's always important to approach a new situation by myself first, just to take my time to look at things, to think about different approaches and play around a little bit. Well, it's time to tackle that engine, and I'm gonna take off all the stuff that I think I might be able to sell, like the alternator and the starter and the water pump, and drain all the remaining liquids like the coolant and the oil and the transmission oil, and take a look at the whole thing and see what else I might need to take that old baby out of the boat. Let's go. I've started to take everything off, and I'm taking all the hoses off and all the hose clamps and everything that's plastic cables, disconnecting everything. And it's kind of like, it's feeling like I'm harvesting a dead body. It's really sad. I mean, I've been talking to my little engine, I've been taking parts off, going like, hey, you remember the time in Cartagena when I had to go and fix that water pump? And the time in Cuba when I had to fix the water pump? And the time in Shelter Bay when I blew my impeller and I had to take apart my heat exchanger, and we've definitely gone through a lot of trouble together. But you know, we also had some really good times, and he did bring me around the Caribbean and into the Pacific. And I feel a little bit bad throwing this little boy out. But sorry, bye. Gotta go. Yeah, being a little bit sentimental today. So it cracked down here, just where the valves sit, and it cracked over there. You can't really see it. Here, it's a big crack. It's like that long. Yep, those were his final hours. Poor little baby. So today it's going to be a little bit more tricky, I think. I dismounted all the parts like hoses and parts that I possibly could sell, and I drained all the liquids. And then I got to take off the transmission because possibly I can sell that too. But for that I will have, because the cover of the flywheel, I guess that is, it's mounted, it's part of the mounts of the engine as well. And then the transmission is actually mounted from the back of that. So I have to take those mounts off, like the support off, to take the tranny off and then put it back on if I wanted to. So I'm gonna take a jack and try to lift the engine up a little bit so it's sitting on the jack instead of the mounts, and then hopefully I can take it off. Let's see how that works. Okay, I've been working since this morning, since 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's 4 now. And got the shaft off, got the transmission off, and now I just want to move the engine so it actually sits underneath the hole. So tomorrow the only thing that's left when Neldo comes is to actually take it up straight. I wrapped this around a couple of times, so once the engine is against it, I can just loosen it, and then, it's like kind of like a pulley system, so I just let it go a little bit, and then it's supposed to sit here on the wood, so then tomorrow it can just go straight up out of that hole. There's one bolt there, down there, and then there's another one on the other side. Those are the last two things, and then the engine will actually start moving forward. Well, this one's not very tight. Yep, let's see. I try not to be in front of the engine in case something happens. You never know. Well, wish me luck. It's been a crazy day. It was one of those days, the last 2 days, like where you just get up and you just work, and then just this and that. Well, the engine is off. It's just sitting right underneath the hole. So tomorrow, everything is set up. Like we just have to connect everything and basically just lift it up and try to lift it high enough so it goes over the railing, and then drop it into Neldo's lancha. He's a Panamanian guy that lives here on works here on one of the boats, and he's going to take my engine to, I don't know, make a mooring or maybe use it for parts. And now I really, really need a cold beer. Gonna meet with Ed and Debbie from Windrose, I think is the name of the boat, for the pizza night. Yep, I really need a beer. Did I say that? I really need a beer. Neldo came by the next morning, and I think he was a bit shocked that I had already moved the engine. Here in Panama, that's really not something a woman would do, and especially not by herself. Looks like this baby's out. Stop. Woo! It was a fair bit of work to get the big boy out, and now it's time to clean the side a little bit. And I built a little wooden board to temporarily mount the shaft to, just in case. Well, I'm gonna go into town, well not town, just over to the Amador Causeway and check out two marinas, Flamenco Marina and Playita, to see if they could receive my new engine and what they charge, and because those are the two possibilities, or Balboa Yacht Club, or shipping it to Shelter Bay Marina and then truck it over land. So I'm gonna go do that now. prices to use a crane range from $180 to $220 plus paying for a slip, which would add another $80 to $100. I might have to dig a little deeper and find a more economic solution. Well, we're on our way to Jojo, and we have to pick up a couple of things for the time with my sister and Hendrik, and for the upcoming 2 Untie The Lines charters. So I'm going to give you a little insight of how the provisioning craziness looks like, especially because we have a dog and a cat with us, because I had to go and see the vet. So it's, we have a bit going on here. Right, there's a starting battery that we need to take back to Joanna, a lot of rum, some soda, crisps and whatnot, crackers. Hello, Nico. Some wine, bacon. We don't only just eat meat on charters, but we got everything ready packed. We always take it out of the nasty plastic things. Nico, out of there. So we pack it like in portions for the charters. Oh, these ribs are actually not for charters, they're for my sister. And this is not all of it yet. We still need to go stop at the Rays and get all the veggies and some more like olives and stuff and some more meats, because we just had another booking come in for the Untie The Lines charters. Actually 5 more bookings, which is awesome. So we need to stock up on the meat a little bit. Well, just a couple more shops to visit, and then it's time to pick up my sister and Hendrik from the airport. But more about that next week.